How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan, this is Ade, and here we go with another edition of Box Talk. I tell you what, I'm excited for this one. It's kind of a UK fan favourite, but I know people over in the States are going to love it as well. David Haye versus Tyson Fury. The ex-cruiserweight champion of the world versus the future, possibly, heavyweight champion. What do you think, Ade?
Big comments there. Big statement there. Future heavyweight champion, possibly if Vitaly and Vladimir cut their hands off. No, you cannot. I don't care what anyone says. Even if you're an American fight fan, Mexican fight fan, Filipino fight fan, Nigerian fight fan, you cannot not be excited about this one. We've got two guys that talk the talk, and to be fair, even though he lost to Vladimir, they kind of walk the walk as well. I mean, they kind of really. I mean, aside from Money Mayweather, I don't know two guys that can probably sell a fight better.
Yeah, exactly. So, tell you what I like about this fight. Really, we all know their flaws clearly. So we know that it's gonna go one way or other. You know. To be fair, chances are it won't go 12 rounds. Yeah, but don't think that it won't go 12 rounds. Don't think that means Haye's gonna win. Because believe me, Fury's got it in him to stop Haye.
He has, but I think people are so caught up on this. If Haye goes past 5 rounds, then it's Fury's fight, blah, blah, blah. Haye didn't look like he was getting any slower against Vladimir. Vladimir is pretty much the same size as Fury. Haye seems to have this thing where he gasses, but I think he gasses in the 5th, and then he seems to get his second wind again. He's fought big guys before, massive guys before. I'm not going to say he fought Vladimir because Vladimir literally wasn't a fighter. Vladimir was a wrestler dressed up in boxing gear. Vladimir, he put a decent performance against, but this fight is literally just going to be war.
See, I've got a flip coin to that, you see. I'm not sure about David Haye. It's not that you're right about people saying he's gassing and he does get his second win. The reason why I think this fight is Tyson Fury is after 5-6 rounds is Haye don't fight big guys aggressive. If you look at his fights with Valuev, not aggressive at all until the
last against Audley, wasn't he?
He didn't throw punches for 2 rounds with Audley Harrison. He didn't throw punches for 2 rounds until the 3rd round stoppage.
Vladimir, you say Audley Harrison like that.
Vladimir, we all know. Vladimir is great. He's world class. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. So I'm not going to criticize too much about that. But then he's going to the Hall of Fame.
That's another discussion.
Anyway, the point I'm making is David Haye doesn't fight tall guys aggressive. He fights them as a counter-punching style. So fighting someone like Fury, I think for the first 2 or 3 rounds he might try his thing, but I don't expect to see a David Haye going out there hard. I think David Haye's an honest fighter.
You know, the best thing, the best, and I say this with a capital B-E-S and T, thing that can happen to David Haye is watching a fellow cruiserweight put Tyson Fury in his ass hard. Yeah. Steve Cunningham, I weigh more than him. I'm not a big guy. Well, actually, I've got a bit of muscle, but I'm not a big guy. But Cunningham and Haye probably in terms of. In fact, Cunningham's one of those people who looks like he could have made light heavyweight. He doesn't look big at all. David Haye is probably faster. David Haye is probably more explosive, and David Haye definitely has a better knockout record than Cunningham's knockout record is actually quite embarrassing. And he put Fury down hard. In fact, I didn't think Fury was going to get up. And people say, yeah, but Fury got up and won. If Haye lands that on Fury, cash your checks, get out of there because the Travellers are going to come for you in Manchester. Run, people, run!
I'll tell you what, yeah, you're right, 100% right. David Haye is a bit better puncher than Steve Cunningham. David Haye is a better finisher than Steve Cunningham.
Not a better boxer.
No, I don't think he's a better boxer.
No, he's not a better boxer.
If David Haye catches Tyson Fury like that and hurts him like that, the fight is guaranteed over. David Haye will small blood and go for the kill. But the problem with that fight is always that 2 things about Tyson Fury which I'm impressed with. One, once he goes down, he always gets back up. But 2, we're not impressed with, he made a mistake. He actually walked at the Cunningham and asked for him to take that shot. He took it, and it was a stupid move. He won't make a mistake twice.
The thing about Tyson Fury though is that he goes down. Yeah, people are going to say, oh, Haye goes down. Not really. I mean, yeah, a couple of times, but not really. Fury does go down. He gets hit and goes down quite a couple of times. I remember his fight, not before Kevin Johnson, he went down. I can't remember who he fought because he fights nobodies as well. But I just don't know. In terms of where it puts these both in the heavyweight scene, both have been talking, saying, yeah, it means that we fight Vitaly or Vladimir next. No, it does not. There's so many other fighters in America that you guys are avoiding, that you don't want to fight. I mean, Deontay Wilder, he's still a bit rough, but both of you don't want to fight him. Ariola, both of you don't want to fight him. There's other fighters out there that you guys are avoiding. That's why I rate someone like Derek Chisora for Malik Scott. Both of you don't want to fight him.
Yeah.
So it's questionable about, does this fight mean anything in the heavyweight division, really?
Well, I think it means something in the heavyweight division. I think it brings someone up. But David Haye's talking about getting a title shot. I mean, you've been inactive, you've semi-retired, you've had 2 fights, or this will be your 2nd fight in 2 years. That don't make you an active fighter. In my personal opinion, that don't make you a top 10 heavyweight. I believe he's a top 10 heavyweight because of his skill set and what he's done previously. But fighting twice in 2 years, you can't claim a ranking.
And then you also have to look at who he's fought. I mean, he fought Derek Chisora.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, Derek Chisora, I actually like Derek Chisora. I think Derek Chisora's actually got good potential. I really do. But Derek Chisora lost his last 3 fights before that.
Yeah.
Fury, Helenius, and Vitali. Big names, big people, but...
He beat Helenius.
He beat Helenius. And he gave Vitali his toughest fight in arguably the last 10 years.
Yeah. Well, they had the bad damage on.
Not having it.
Either way, yeah. Tyson Fury, he's fought a lot of the C class, B class, and everything. But I think, as terms of development, he's been developed well, but he hasn't made that step into say top contendership yet. And I think this is his shot at David Haye to jump in. If he jumps in and beats these guys, then he needs to fight a Pulev. He needs to fight Adamek, Areola, Seth Mitchell, or Wilder.
Even a Banks.
But even you got some young American heavyweights out there. You got the guy I'm kind of high on right now. What's the guy from Philadelphia? Brian Jennings. Yeah, but I mean, there's fights out there to me. You know, the thing about the heavyweight division, it's not a bad division. If you take out the Klitschko's, it's very competitive. But those two are just too far ahead of everyone right now.
No, the funny thing is, we say it's competitive, and I agree with you, it is competitive. But below the Klitschko, it's like all these guys are scared to lose, so they're not fighting each other. None of the top 10 guys. You take all the top. That's why I like Adamek. Adamek fucking fights anybody. Adamek is literally, he'll go to anyone's backyard and fight anyone just to get another shot at Vitali. And you've got to respect that. And he's a small guy.
Yeah.
Adamek's a small guy, but he's willing to fight guys. I mean, like you say, David Haye's last fight was Chisora, coming off a real loss record. Tyson Fury's last fight was Cunningham. Again, he got beat by Adamek. Controversial decision. But they're both fighting guys that have come off losing fights. So I don't know if this fight really does mean much in terms of, this fight, the next person's got to fight Vitali. No, it doesn't mean you've got to fight Vitali and Vladimir. You've got to do a bit more for me.
I reckon, not trying to add fuel to the fire, I reckon David Haye and Tyson will beat Tony Thompson. But right now, Thompson's got a better shot to a title claim than these two right now.
Well, he lost, didn't he, last week?
He did lose, actually. He did lose.
He lost, but on the quiet.
He lost Pulev in Germany.
Yeah.
But you get my point I'm making. At least these guys are fighting and being active with their fellow peers.
They're going for it, exactly. I mean, he came over here. He didn't have to take Price in the rematch. Obviously, it's good money for him. He's not getting fights in America. He took Price in the rematch, beat him, and then straight away in Germany, active fighter at 42 years of age. Yeah. 41, 42 years of age, active. Yeah. You got these guys over here. I mean, as much as Haye says he's a heavyweight world champion, yes, he's done stuff at cruiserweight, but you really look at his cruiserweight record. There's a lot of fighters he didn't fight at cruiserweight. A hell of a lot of fighters in fighting. And now he's kind of dodging a lot of guys at heavyweight. He might look back at his career and say, I earned money, but who did I really, really fight?
David Haye is good in the sense where he's managed his own career and marketed himself very, very well. Done the TV shows, got in, made a lot of money from picking the right fights at the right time and capitalizing on his attributes. But as a complete fighter, he left holes. And those holes will always come back to you when you look at the record books. Yeah,
like we might look at Chisora now. Chisora might not have a great record. I think he's lost like 4 times now. But if you look at the last 5 or 6 fights that Chisora has had, I mean, minus the guy before Malik Scott, he had a little warm-up, tune-up fight after the loss to Haye. Yeah. He's fighting anyone, isn't he? Yeah. I mean, he literally is fighting anyone. Yeah.
And I always say, I don't like Frank Warren's promoting, but I give Frank Warren promoting for that.
For that Malik Scott, you've got to give him well done. Malik Scott's probably, everyone says, one of the most avoided heavyweights there is. Yeah. Because he really can box. Yeah. Chisora looks like he was losing that fight a bit and then bang. We all saw what happened in, I think, the 6th round. Yeah. But back to Haye and
Fury. So what do you think? How's it going to go? Break it down.
Honestly, this is such a tough one to call. And I've been arguing with people. I think this is the only fight that me and Ryan probably agree on. Haye, first 5. After that, Fury. But honestly, Fury can knock Haye out in the first minute. Haye can knock Fury out in the first minute. But then if it goes to the latter rounds and they're both... This isn't going... In fact, forget that latter round. This is not going past 8 rounds. Yeah. If it goes past 8 rounds, I will grow my t-shirt for the next video.
If I didn't watch the fight, I'd be watching it live, don't worry. But if I didn't watch the fight and I heard it was a one-punch KO, I'll go with David Haye. I think David Haye knows his limitations, like I was saying earlier on. He knows that he's undersized. He knows that he's underweight with these guys. So he knows to pick his spots. And, Fury has been known to be cumbersome at times to walk into certain shots. Haye has the speed and accuracy to land one of the big haymakers and end the fight.
But he's very reckless though. He fights reckless.
He's
He's got
reckless.
hands down. He relies on his hands,
Yeah.
his head movement. He
Yeah.
does a little dart.
He does
with
have
his
more
hands
than
a lot.
boxing.
And I don't know that. I don't know if that. None of these verbal jabs intimidate Tyson Fury. In fact, I almost feel Tyson Fury does intimidate him a bit.
Yeah.
I almost feel like, unlike Valuev and Vitaly Klitschko, they're almost robotic in their interviews and all their press fight comments. This guy looks like one mean motherfucker.
Tyson Fury wants to fight now.
Yeah, he wants it.
He wants to
now.
fight right now.
Gloves off.
Yeah.
He wants back of the trainer, gloves off. Literally 45-minute rounds.
Fury's work rate is what we could call his problem.
Yeah, he does.
If Fury don't like his jab, but if he uses his jab and does his normal standard work rate and pressure, it's very, very hard to keep him off you.
He's taking his fight.
He's a huge man.
He's got Cunningham in for the sparring sessions as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to obviously mimic David Haye's speed.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I don't think Cunningham's as fast as him, but in terms of someone that's agile and can box, it's a good person to bring in for the sparring.
I tell you what, but something Tyson Fury done in the Adamant Cunningham fight, which was very naughty but quite smart. He could fight dirty and cover it from the ref. You know, get those rabbit punches in, get a little elbows and certain things in. And against a smaller guy, that is very discouraging.
Yeah, I don't know, considering how big Haye is over here in terms of, I don't know if the ref's going to allow that with Haye and Haye's corner as well. I think they're going to be really, really tough and Fury. Any sort of grabbing or leaning on. Remember, regardless of what we want to think, Haye is still the marquee name over here.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Haye is still the cash cow over here. Even a known like Vladimir will still sell, especially if it's over here, it will still sell massively. I think Fury's got a few more fights before he can get to a Vladimir, but I think Vladimir knows out there as well. There's no one really to fight. He's fighting bums.
Yeah.
I think Haye's the only real last kind of big cash windfall he can get.
I reckon Vladimir's looking like this. He's beaten Haye before, he wants to do Fury, and he wants to do someone other fighters out there and try and build some more of a legacy, some more title defenses. That's what I want. I don't really think he's going to deal with Haye. He's thinking that, guess what? I beat Haye already. I've got the win. He insulted me. He cussed my family. I've got him. I don't need it no more. Yeah. But Tyler's more prideful and wants to actually hurt Haye. So you never know. You might see that fight somewhere down the line.
I think it's too late.
But I think Vladimir wants something different. Wants to move forward and take some of these other cats out. If you had to call it, how would you call it? I know we both agree with this one, but how would you call it tactically? What would you see would be the difference in this fight? Would it be the experience, the speed?
I think it's speed.
Or the youth and strength.
There's not much. It's weird. We're talking about experience. I mean, yeah, he's had title fights, but in terms of fights together, Haye's not had that much many more fights than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's been really active, but I think you've got to give it for speed and experience for Haye. Haye's speed does kill, and as much as I don't think his power is as effective at heavyweight, Chisora is a big lump of a boy, and that punch look at Chisora, the one to put him down was strong, but then how quick his combinations were when Chisora was a bit dazed and put him completely down.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to do that to Chisora,
Yeah.
and I think that Haye's speed and punch power, which I don't know if it's as big, but now I see Fury get put down by Cunningham. I think Fury can easily get put down. Hayes probably going to come in around 15.5 stone. He always goes around that kind of weight. Fury probably going at 21 stone, which is just ridiculous. But I feel like I think Haye wins.
Yeah.
Haye wins knockout, fourth round.
I'm a little disagree with you slightly. I think Haye's been inactive. I said 2 fights in 2 years is not really good. I think Haye likes us to kind of start fast and set a pace. I don't think he's going to do it in this fight at the beginning. I think it's going to be touch and go, and it'll be around the 6th or 7th round stoppage.
Can't sit on the fence. We're in a Chesterfield chair.
I do not know. You know, common sense says, guess what? David Haye's more experienced, more seasoned, got the attributes to end it. But I've got a funny feeling that we just might see an upset for Bermondsey, man.
Before we end, we're getting a great start to the year in terms of this is when I say year, people, I mean like the boxing fight year starts pretty much now. The new season starts now, September. We're just getting like walloped with fights. We're getting everything, aren't we? We're getting all the fights we want. We're getting.
Yeah.
This has been a great fight. Is this your fight so far of the year? Is this bigger than Alvarez Mayweather?
No, it's not bigger than Alvarez Mayweather.
No, I don't mean it big.
But I'm more interested in seeing it.
That's what I meant.
I'm more interested in seeing it.
Okay, if you have £14 right now, pay-per-view, if you only can watch one fight, what fight do you watch? Woo!
You know, I think
I know you do.
No.
You go out there, you gamble, you make 28 pounds.
What you do is, I'll put my money on pay-per-view for Mayweather Alvarez and
You stream.
and I'll go to my friend's house and watch the
Nah, both great fights. But guys, what do you think? Who wins? Is it speed of Haye? Is it strength of Fury? Is it experience of Haye? Or is it just brute force of Fury? Tell us what you think. Leave your comments below or email us at
BoxTalk at hotmail.co.uk.
Guys, thanks again for tuning in. Take care.